Hello everybody, this is Wizard, and today I'm going to be talking about Dauntless on the PS4, specifically the basics, which is why this is Dauntless for Dummies. A lot of this stuff took me a really long time to figure out myself. Lots of just 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 aimlessly clicking through things and trying to understand what was going on and how I was progressing and what was leveling up and why it was leveling up and how to customize my character and what all of that does. So I've had some friends who have started the game and they've expressed the same sort of issues where they don't really understand what's going on either. So since we see this here, this is a death mark. If you collect 10 of these, you get some heart seekers. We'll get to that in a minute. First of all, loadout. If you don't have a bunch of weapons to choose from, you need to just go through the main quest of the game. The main quest of the game is by this lady over here. If you finish her quests, then you'll unlock new weapons and new creatures to fight. Alright, thank you. You can just stop trying to talk over me. So, let's talk about loadout real quick. Some people have asked me, how do I change my weapon? That's a really good question, because it's not immediately obvious. You just select the weapon, push X button, push it again, and there you go. All your weapons are available for selection. I'm not sure why sometimes it shows armor when I'm doing this, but you see I have quite a few hammers. I like them quite a bit. And I have repeaters. If you don't have repeaters yet, just do the quests. You'll end up getting repeaters. You can also unlock things like new modifications. So you see I have the Mighty Landbreaker, and I also have Weighted Crown. You get cells as you play the game, and that allows you to equip cells to these sections of your weapons. And you'll see that they have like deconstruction, which is +3 deconstruction, and bonus damage against objects created by Behemoth. See, I'm really trying not to say that word too much because I'm not going to pronounce it the way other people do. Knockout, which adds a % to stagger damage. You have this here. If you want to change the look of your weapon, you go to Transmog, and you'll see that I need one green orb to change the look to these. I have 2 of them. They are really difficult to get a hold of, so I would highly suggest to not just start changing the look of your gear until you find the gear that you really want. But if you're PlayStation Plus, you get a free Transmog, which is the PlayStation Plus. This is from PlayStation Plus right here. It's not that great, but it's a little bit different. So what does all that mean? Like who cares about all these perks and things? You'll see here it's got +2 evasion, and I've got a Stormblade cell attached to it. And each of these pieces of equipment actually have different modification slots. So the Heart of Stone has a defense slot, but you'll see this one has an offense slot in it. This one has a mobility slot. So the armor that you equip isn't just about the perk that it has and the element that it is associated with. It's also what sort of modification slot does it have. The reason why that matters is because the game is going to add your perks from your items with the perks from modifications to create a perk summary. And you'll see that right now I have +4/9 lives, so I have a 12% chance to have incoming damage, and the first time I'm knocked out, I will stay up and heal for 400 damage. This is basically a extra life. And if I get +6, then it gets even better. 16% to have incoming damage, 20% to have incoming damage. That's with every attack. That's with everything that does damage. So every time I take damage, there's a 12% chance I have incoming damage. This happens a lot in a fight. I'm consistently seeing 9 lives pop up and say, oh, look, I just worked. This is really good too. I kind of have a lantern build. So it really just depends on what you do. If you want to know what your equipment and your perk combination is doing to your character, this is where you go for that. You'll notice it only goes as high as +6. So if you have a +7 or +8 or whatever to a perk, then you are not getting the benefit above +6. They might add the ability to go higher than that in later updates, but currently you can only go to +6. So that's really important to try not to go higher than that, because then you're not being efficient with your loadout. If you want to change your consumables, you just scroll down here and you are able to change what consumables you have equipped. Oh, yes, I would like that. So, where do you get cells? You earn cores as you play the game, and you come over to these, which just look like pieces of the environment, but they are interactable. And you break your cores, and you can get cells from it. And those are what you equip into your weapons and your armor. So with that, that's loadout stuff, that's perk stuff. How you get stuff is dependent on your mastery. So let's go into mastery. You can scroll through the different creatures here, and you'll see that it has like Hunter Karabak, Hunter wearing Karabak armor, craft all Karabak armor. You have all these things. As you do those things, then the mastery bar in the top right will increase. And when that gets to the next level, you get the next reward. You'll see my next reward is a silver defense core. The same thing, you can scroll down here to the different weapons, and it's the same thing. You'll see my axe mastery is level 1, but next, when I get it to level 2, I'll get some rams, which are useless, but you know, you have to get through the trash to get to the good stuff. In axes, my next reward is a hammerhead. In repeaters, my next reward is that I can craft them at a higher level. You can also go push square and quickly scroll through a summary of all of the rewards. So you'll see that in hammers I unlocked the Landbreaker, which I showed you earlier, and the weighted crown, which I also showed you earlier. Those are things that I can equip to change out the various things in my weapon. And you'll see I'll get cores as I level up as well. And that's where I can get my cells that I can use to increase my perks, to change what perks I have. I'm almost done with repeaters, and that's when I get this nifty little title here. I can call myself the Gunslinger. Another place to get core or to get cells is the middleman here.
I'm listening.
Every couple days he refreshes his cells here. Usually there's always an epic one. This increases damage when your health is low. I don't like my health to be low, so I'm not going to bother with it. And down there at the bottom you'll see activate, 4 hours 20 minutes left, activate. That's where you can combine some of your 5 ace chips. Yeah, let's do that now. I just spent ace chips. That's on the bottom right. You'll see it's a premium currency that you can use to speed this up. So you'll see that I can combine cells. Like, let me find two not horrible ones that I'd like to combine. Percent increase of lantern charge from attacks. Flat amount of lantern charge from each hit. Ooh, I don't know. I don't really get it. Grant health after breaking apart. Yeah, I'd like to get those better. So, boom. I put one in one and one in the other. You can mix any ones you want to. But if you mix two of the same ones, then you're almost guaranteed to get a higher version of that. So instead of an Assassin Vigor 1, I'll get an Assassin Vigor 2 or something like that. If you mix different ones, like if you mix one defense with a different defense, then you'll get a random defense of a higher value. If you mix like a defense with an attack, then you get just a random one of a higher value. There's different a little bit different ways to do that, and you'll see I have to wait 22 hours before that combines. It's a little grindy. I can buy other slots here, but for platinum, but I don't really want to. I'm trying to do this I'm trying to do this without spending any kind of real cash.
Another hunt always awaits.
So another piece of progression that I'd like to show you is the Hunt Pass. The Hunt Pass gives you a bunch of freebies as you level it up. You'll see in the top right corner, or in the top left corner, you'll see 24, you'll see a bar, you'll see 43 cherry blossoms out of 100. Those cherry blossoms are called Heart Seekers, and they are your Hunt Pass experience points. So once you get to 100, then you will unlock the next level of your Hunt Pass, and then you'll gain those rewards. So you see I've already gotten the core, and I've gotten this transmog here, some dye, and some other things. I've gotten 24, 25 is next, so when I get 57, then I'll get this moonflower here. And since I am also elite, then I will get everything in the elite section as well. Elite costs $10 a month, or if you get the like the new players deal, which is like a $5 deal, you get a bunch of stuff, including 1,000 premium currency. Then you can get elite for $5 for the first month. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good entry point into the game. It gives you a lot of stuff, including some more platinum, because you earn this through. You can earn this through your Hunt Pass. I won't earn enough platinum to get the next month free, because that will require 1,000 platinum, but I'll get pretty close to it. Now, I'd like to show you a couple little other things. If you are attempting to enter your huts from the signboard, which a lot of new players do, you don't have to do that. See, I can go here, enter this section. Instead, I can go here, go to map, and immediately access any of the hunts from the map. Quest log is obviously a good place to go to figure out what you need to do. Specifically your Hunt Pass challenges. So my Hunt Pass challenge is just refreshed. I need to kill 10 from the bottom. I need to kill 10 with swords or axes. I'll get 150 Heart Seekers. Kill 10 using swords or chain blade. I'll get another 150 Heart Seekers. Complete 10 blaze controls. I'll get another 150 Heart Seekers. And actually, I can do all three of those at the same time. So if I get a sword and because the third one and the fourth one are almost exactly the same. So I can get a sword and get those two. If I get a sword and go hunt in a blaze patrol, then I'll do those three at the same time, which will leave me with the first one on top. So you'll see I'll get 600 Heart Seekers. So by completing those, then I will get 6 more of these by the end of the week, which is pretty decent. It'll take me to here, and I'll probably get another one from doing some other random bullshit, so I'll end up over here. I could do that in a couple of days, actually. So that's progression. That is the basics of the game. When you start out in the game, though, I would recommend that you fight the Lesser Gnasher with each weapon type first, so that you can get a feel for the weapons and which one you like. And I would focus on that weapon first, instead of just willy-nilly building every weapon type that you can, because getting your gear and increasing your gear can take quite a few resources. And I was spread thin at first, so it took me a while to get my weapons where I wanted them to. I would recommend that you focus first on a neutral set of armor and a neutral weapon, so that you have something that you can use against every type of creature without having to worry about elemental stuff. Elemental stuff will become important later on, but to start, you don't really need to worry about it. You just need to have a good set of armor with decent defensive stats and a good weapon with decent offensive stats. And that's why I would recommend focusing on a neutral set. If you're building your weapons and armor and you're not sure what you need to build them, let me show you that real quick. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Hey, it's you.
So you see on the right, it says requires 2 Sonic Scales and 3 Frost Orbs. This is a Boreas helmet. Usually I can get those from the creature that I'm trying to make the armor out of. It's pretty simple. Now, later on, when you start getting into much higher types, then you'll need different. You can't just get stuff from that creature. So
I'll be here.
I think that's a pretty good place to leave off. I think I feel like that's a good description of the very basics of the game and progression, and how to level up and what that means. If you have any questions, or if you want to comment about anything, you can do so in the comments. If you found this video useful and you'd like to see more for Dauntless for Dummy videos, then go ahead and leave a like, maybe subscribe. I'll put up as much content about this as I can. Maybe I'll get into some strategies later on. I'm doing a Borderlands 2 playthrough right now. If you want to see more Dauntless, just see it played, then I can do that too. But thanks for joining, and I hope you have a fantastic day.